I want to transition to the NFL. Let's go to Philadelphia, to the city of brotherly love. Let's talk about those NFC defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. As remember last year, the Philadelphia Eagles, they were the best team throughout the season last year in the NFC. They had a 14-3 record. Jalen Hurts was a legitimate NFL MVP candidate. They had A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith on their offense. At tight end, they had Dallas Goedert. Defensively, they were a top 5 defensive unit last year, led by Brandon Graham. Also had Jalen Carter in their secondary. They had big play Darius Slay, James Bradbury as well. And then they also had Sirianni as well. And so last year, the Philadelphia Eagles were a legit team in the NFC and arguably a top 3 team in the NFL last year. Jalen Hurts had a franchise record 43 combined passing and rushing touchdowns last season. I thought it was his best season of his career. Jalen Hurts was sensational last year. 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, over 3,700 passing yards. And I felt like we kind of could see this coming because in his first year at being able to have action on the field, Jalen Hurts only had 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And that was the year where Carson Wentz, I believe, in 2020 was still in Philadelphia. He followed that up in 2021 with 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He led the Philadelphia Eagles to the playoffs. They got blew out that year by Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that was the year when Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl. But last year, he had a breakout season, NFL MVP candidate. He was sensational last year, and they were great overall as a football team. But when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles overall and whether or not they're going to be able to duplicate success this year compared to what they did last year, I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to go 14-3 this year. Last year, when you look at their schedule, they played the AFC South and the NFC North. In the AFC South, the best quarterback is Trevor Lawrence, but he's still young. He's still learning. I like his upside, but I wouldn't consider Trevor Lawrence necessarily elite yet. So they played quarterbacks in the AFC South like Ryan Tannehill, David Mills from the Texans. Okay, like I wasn't really impressed last year with what they did as far as their schedule. Like in the AFC South, you go up against quarterbacks like David Mills, Trevor Lawrence, who is good, not great yet, not elite, but he's good. Okay, and the Indianapolis Colts had a washed-up Matt Ryan. So the AFC South last year wasn't very good. They played the AFC South last year. They also went up against the NFC North. Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had one of the worst seasons of his career last year. So I don't really feel like the competition that the Eagles played last year is up to par when you compare it to what they're going to play against this year. This year, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to go up against the AFC East. So you got Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. You got Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills. You got Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill with the Miami Dolphins. And you got Bill Belichick, who has a lot to prove. Since Tom Brady departed from New England, the Patriots haven't been very good. So Bill Belichick also has a lot to prove. And they're also going up against the NFC West this year. We know how great the 49ers are as an overall football team. The Rams should be better if Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp are healthy, and if Sean McVay can execute as a head coach this year compared to what he did last year. They wasn't very good last year, the LA Rams. So I expect the Rams to be better. I'm not so sure they're a playoff team, but I expect the Rams to be better. So I think the competition in 2023 is going to be significantly tougher for the Eagles compared to what it was in 2022. You look at Jalen Hurts last year, I thought he emerged as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Last year, this was his ranks statistically as the quarterback of the Eagles. Last year, his total QBR was 66. That was ranked fourth amongst quarterbacks. His passing yards per attempt was 8.0. That was ranked third amongst quarterbacks. He had 13 rushing touchdowns. That was ranked first amongst quarterbacks. So I thought Jalen Hurts emerged as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL last year. But I still got my questions about Jalen Hurts. I got questions about Jalen Hurts because I have to see Jalen Hurts do it for a second consecutive season for me to believe that he deserves to be in that conversation with Lamar Jackson, with Joe Burrow, with Josh Allen, with Patrick Mahomes. I'm not ready to put Jalen Hurts in that stratosphere quite yet. I need to see more from Jalen Hurts. I love what he was able to do last year. I love his story. They talk about how Jalen Hurts on his wallpaper on his phone, he has the picture of him walking off the field with the confetti around him in the loss after when they lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year. So you know he's going to be motivated heading into this season. But I got my questions about the Philadelphia Eagles. They lost both of their coordinators. And I thought last year, offensively and defensively, they were both top 5 units for the Philadelphia Eagles. But losing both of your coordinators is going to have an impact on your football team. Also, last year, I thought that they were able to avoid the injuries. This team was healthy majority of the season last year. They were healthy for all 17 games during the regular season, besides when Jalen Hurts got injured for a while. But besides Jalen Hurts, majority of their team was healthy throughout the entire season. And then you look at their path last year to the Super Bowl. They played the Giants in the divisional round of the playoffs. I don't believe in Mac Jones. I don't believe in Mac Jones whatsoever. So, to me, they basically got an easy. I know it's the NFL. I know people are going to say, like, what do you mean easy? To me, if in the divisional round of the playoffs, with them having to face the Giants, to me was even easier than them having to face the Minnesota Vikings. Because remember last year in the wild card round, the Giants beat the Vikings. I feel like Kirk Cousins and Jefferson would have been tougher for this Eagles football team. So they got Mac Jones in the divisional round. In the NFC Championship game, the 49ers didn't have a quarterback. They didn't have a quarterback. Brock Purdy got injured. Josh Johnson came in. He got injured. At one point, Christian McCaffrey had to take snaps at the quarterback position for the 49ers. So the 49ers didn't have a quarterback in the NFC Championship game. I was so excited heading into the NFC Championship game because I said we have the two best teams in the NFC, in the 49ers and in the Eagles. We're going to get an opportunity to see how good this Philadelphia Eagles football team really is. Because the 49ers, to me, had already proven themselves. Over the last few years, the 49ers have been one of the best teams in the NFC. The Eagles have not proven themselves quite yet. And I thought with the 49ers losing their quarterbacks, it pretty much took the significance and the interest level away from the game. Because we knew once Brock Purdy got injured, the 49ers had no chance at being able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And then when they got to the Super Bowl, Mahomes was playing on a bum ankle, but that Eagles defense, who was ranked top 5 in a lot of major categories throughout the season, they couldn't get to Mahomes one time. They didn't have one sack against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be good. I think they're going to be a playoff team, but I'm not so sure they're going to duplicate the success in 2023 compared to what they had in 2022. So I think they're going to finish around 12-5. They won't be 14-3 this season. I got them finishing 12-5.